Hi everyone. Hi. It is Friday night, January 24th, 2020. My name is Felicia Latanya Hunt. I am here to have a nice cordial discussion regarding heart health. Now, as we all know that heart health is very crucial to our lives every single day. Our heart is like the engine to our bodies. And I want to just have some discussions regarding, healthy food items that could help regulate the high cholesterol levels. And also, if you're diabetic or if you have high blood pressure as well, these food items can help as well. But first, I want to talk about the American Heart Association. It's one of the associations that is very crucial to the American Heart Society, because the American Heart Association has different recipes and diet and food choices to maintain and to promote optimal healthy hearts as well as healthy living as a whole. In the description box, I will definitely post a link to the American Heart Association so that you can read furthermore and to decide which diet food options are better for you. Of course, everyone its appetite is different. Everyone's body is different. So, with that being said, we will definitely post a link so that you guys could just navigate through the American Heart Association and see what their suggestions are regarding healthy heart diet food options. One of the main reasons why diet is so important for the heart, to maintain the heart, is because every day people are having heart attacks while running on the treadmill, while exercising, and even while just sitting down in their chair. People are having chest pain, and they may be having chest pain for months and not realizing that, hey, I've actually been having a slow heart attack for the last few months. Therefore, it is also imperative for individuals to recognize these symptoms of just regular chest pain and symptoms of a heart attack. And we'll get into that in a little bit, but I do want to talk a little bit more about the diet options. Well, foods that lower cholesterol. I know you've heard of oatmeal. Oatmeal helps keep your cholesterol low. And if you go into the grocery store, in the grocery store aisle, you'll go into the aisle where the oatmeal is, and then they have those oatmeal options that you can choose to help lower cholesterol. And then also the cereal Cheerios helps lower cholesterol. And then also just adding roughage to your diet, adding like salads, different salads, broccoli, zucchini, carrots, celery, Brussels sprouts, cabbages. And do not add, let's talk about the salt content, okay? Because salt, just regular salt, can really be damaging to our diets. Now, the grocery stores do have salt substitutes. Now, Mrs. Dash is one of the ones that is really, really good, and it kind of keeps the flavor going and adds flavor to your foods so that you won't have to add too much salt to your foods. Okay, so Mrs. Dash seasoning is good. Also, accent seasoning is very, very good. Kind of wakes up the flavor, because a lot of the foods that we cook already have flavor. And then also we have to pay attention to the foods that have the carbs, like the rice, the macaroni, different meats like the red meats, like the steaks, the pork chops, the pork especially that has all of the fat, and the steaks that has all the fat, bacon that has all the fat. So turkey made products are usually more healthier, like the turkey sausage and the turkey bacon. And therefore, those are some food options as well. And then also, I'll have another discussion on tomorrow regarding diabetes. And then we'll talk more about foods that are safe for diabetic patients. Okay. But right now, we're mostly focusing on the heart. And another thing is a lot of the patients that come into the offices, they take CoQ10. CoQ10 is a vitamin supplement that's really crucial for heart health, and it's really great for heart health. Okay. Make sure that if you choose CoQ10 to look at the ingredients, on a bottle, check out the side effects on the American Heart Association website just to see if it's going to work for you. But CoQ10 is one of the supplements that I've had great reviews from patients. It helps keep their heart very healthy. Their cholesterol levels are down, but of course, they have to regulate their diet, and they have to continue to have an exercise plan. If you don't have a gym membership, definitely have an exercise plan with the family and friends, where that you're going, you're doing fast-paced walking or moderate pace walking in the neighborhood, or you're running in the neighborhood, and then you're doing your strength training as well with your weights as well and your hands. um, but only do exercise that's tolerable for you. Not everyone can tolerate fast-paced exercises, because some of those fast-paced exercises can cause the heart to race really, really fast, and then it's just a little bit too much for the heart sometimes, and it can create some troubles, like some chest pain symptoms and some heart attack symptoms as well. Okay, so let's just be mindful of that. And then also, we must know that a lot of salt intake increases high blood pressure as well. So fat, high cholesterol, high salt all lead to heart attacks, strokes, especially stroke symptoms, and heart attacks. And again, I know that for the stroke, if you're feeling weak on one side of the body, like your arm is feeling weak on one side of the body, your speech is all of a sudden slurred, memory, you're starting to be forgetful a little bit, please let a family member or a friend know, because you could be having, a minor stroke. A small TIA stroke is less than 24 hours, and then so a major stroke it lasts more than 24 hours. Sometimes patients don't realize that, hey, I've been having a stroke for the last, couple of days or so. And then also, high blood pressure is a silent killer. So with the blood pressure medicines, if you are taking blood pressure medicine in the morning, make sure it's consistent every morning. Don't wait until the afternoon to take morning blood pressure medicines, because by the time you wait until the afternoon to take your blood pressure medicines, then your blood pressure is probably high, like 160, 170, or even 180. I've had patients come into the offices where, the blood pressure is 180, and then I ask them, or I go into the patient's homes, because I do home health as well. And I ask them, oh, I'm taking the blood pressure, and then they're letting me know that, hey, I haven't taken my blood pressure medicines today. And I said, why? And they said, oh, because I haven't eaten yet. And then so what happens is, when patients delay taking the morning blood pressure medicines, then the blood pressure continues to climb higher and higher and higher, hour after hour. And then, so by the time afternoon, if you're supposed to take your medications at 9 o'clock, and by the time the afternoon comes, then you're already at stroke level. And sometimes when you take the blood pressure medicine, it's hard to bring that blood pressure down. So you want to be consistent with the times that you take your blood pressure medicines every day, okay? That's just an FYI. All right, so let's talk about chest pain and heart attacks and how to differentiate between the two. Now, there is chest pain that's, that happens. Usually there is pressure in the middle of the chest, and then it's radiating, usually it's to the left side of the body. Okay. In rare occasions, chest pain can happen, in the middle of the chest and radiates to the right side of the body. But a lot of times it usually regulates on the left side of the body. And I've had patients say, oh, I've been feeling this pressure in my chest even while I'm resting. And uh, even when I'm walking or if I'm just sitting down or lying in the bed, it's just pressure in my chest and then it's radiating. My left arm is hurting as well. And if you're having those type of symptoms, definitely let the doctor know if it feels like an elephant is sitting on your chest. Now, if it feels like an elephant is sitting on your chest, then you could be having a heart attack. Okay? One main way we can check for a heart attack is, you have to visit your primary care doctor and we can check an EKG. Most primary care doctors have an EKG in the office so that we can definitely look at all the leads to see if the heart attack is inferior, anterior, lateral, and to see where the heart attack is occurring in the heart. And if the ST elevation, so there's a element on the EKG that we look at, and we look at the ST segment to see if it's elevated or not. Okay, and then so if the EKG is abnormal in the heart in the office, we'll go ahead and refer you. First of all, we'll give you an aspirin in the office. Make sure you're taking a baby aspirin every day. We'll start you on a baby aspirin every day until you're ready to see a cardiologist. If you go home from the office and you are still feeling the pressure in your chest, it gets worse, please don't hesitate to go to the emergency room. Do not wait for your cardiology referral. A lot of people do not know that. They're thinking that, oh, I have a referral for a cardiologist. I need to wait for the cardiologist, but I'm still feeling these symptoms. No, do not wait for your referral for cardiology. Go ahead and go to an ER so that you can see an ER doctor, okay? Because heart attacks can happen really, really fast. A chest pain symptoms can turn into a heart attack really, really fast, okay? And the only way to determine if you're having a heart attack is to take another EKG, and then we're checking the troponin levels in the blood as well. Sometimes CKMB enzymes are elevated as well in the blood. And then so the cardiologist will decide whether or not you need to go to the cath lab. Okay. And then if you need to go to cath lab, then a coronary angiogram is usually a procedure done by the cardiologist that if your EKG is abnormal and your cardiac enzymes, which are your troponins in your blood, is abnormal, then they'll take you from the cath lab, from the ER to the cath lab. And then so they thread a catheter into the groin area, which is your big femoral artery into the groin area, thread a catheter into your coronary arteries in your heart to determine if there's any blockage in your heart. And depending on what the blockage is, then worst case scenario, you would have to have open heart surgery. But in many cases, a stent has to be placed in the heart or a balloon. We call it like a percutaneous balloon. And then usually you're in the hospital for a day or two, and then you can go home. It's a simple procedure, coronary angiogram. The doctor threads the catheter through your artery. The procedure only takes like an hour, and then a lot of times you can go home the next day. And then the nursing staff is really good about educating you as far as care, after the procedure and before the procedure. So to take care of something that's so simple while it's happening versus have a major heart attack and then just pass away, then it's definitely worth it, okay? So I just want to know what you guys are thinking tonight, and if you guys have any questions tonight, I am still here. Even though I'm about to end the video right now, I will still post your questions in the comment section. I will answer you back. And I'm going to post a link to the American Heart Association so that you could check out, a few of the things that I talked about: heart attack symptoms, chest pain symptoms, stroke symptoms. It's all on the American Heart Association website. I'm going to post that link in the description area in just a second. Thank you all for listening to me tonight on a Friday night, and have a great weekend, everybody. And if you're going to tune into my diabetic show on tomorrow evening, then definitely join me. I'm not sure what time I'm going to go live, but it's definitely going to happen. All right. Deuces. Bye.